Good, good morning.
Good morning.
Where are you?
RAF Base Edinburgh.
Oh, we have missed you so much.
Yes. Oh, me too. I have really missed you. Yeah, I'm we call them courses. So we're usually here for 3 weeks. It's a bit shorter this time, but yeah, it's so I'm away with doing my other role.
We've missed you. So because I was thinking, what is this ADFC user? And I was
yeah, it's come up with
I was thinking, this is going to be exciting. I wonder where we're going now. It's always a mystery. Well, who will arrive? And of course, my gorgeous girl's here. The Dougsters here with the very well-ironed shirt as a strategy to attract all the single ladies around the world. Good on you, Dougster. And look, our Donna is back. And Donna, look, I didn't have a chance to tell you last week. Happy birthday, Angel.
Oh, happy birthday, Donna.
You too. We share the same date.
I know. Look, you're one of my favourite people on planet Earth, and I have another BFF called the wonderful Sarah Casey, who basically is drinking her way through late capitalism, and she's born on that day as well. So, all my favourite people. It was just tremendous. So Donna, how have you been travelling in the British winter?
Not too bad. Not too bad. A friend had knee surgery on the 19th of December, and she lives in Carlisle up in the north of England. So I'm just back on Tuesday. I was there for about 10 days walking her dogs. She's 4 dogs, so I was walking his dogs.
But I tell you what, it would be frightening to have knee or ankle or hip surgery with the British winter. It would be more frightening than normally to get around. So that's you're a blessing to have done that for her. That's fantastic. Bit obsessed by dogs. I will ask, what are the 4 dogs? What are they? What are the dogs?
Border Terriers.
Oh no, I'm not allowed a dog. One day I will be allowed a dog, so I'll live vicariously through you and your friends, beautiful Donna. And look, Kate's in and our Adrian's with us. Brother, can you hear us? How you going, mate?
Yeah, well, thanks. How are you all? Good to see you all.
We've missed you terribly. Bloody hell, you've had a great haircut. That was a bloody haircut with a chainsaw, mate. It's fantastic. And Kate is not sharing her beauty with us at this juncture, but we have at least got Kate that's joining us. I can hear you, Angel. We haven't got a picture of you, darling, and we always love to see what you are wearing and what colour. Oh, and we've got Gillian. Jilly, how are you, beautiful one?
I'm good.
Oh, Angel, because I've been sending you hundreds of pages of things through the week, so I hope I haven't sort of overwhelmed you with Brabazonia, if that's even a word. Oh my goodness. But darling, you're traveling. Was that helpful? Is the sort of exploration of semiotics and close textual analysis, is that useful?
Yes. Yeah, I am working through and other semiotics material as well. So yes.
But I know it's overwhelming. If you hadn't dealt with it before, as you know, I sent you sort of first year lectures. So our most junior of undergraduates sort of get it and then they lose it and then they get it again and then they lose it. So, fantastic. And so, Kate, we still haven't got your image, but look, you're anchoring my screen, Kate, as you anchor my life. So are you okay, darling?
I'm very well. Can you hear me? Even
I
if you
can.
can't see? I don't know why the video won't start. But yeah, I'm on top of the world. I've got to share beautiful news with everybody. I'm going to be a nana again.
That is fantastic.
Baby number 8. Oh, a little girl.
Oh,
so 3 boys and 5 girls, and I'm ecstatic. I mean, they're my life.
This is unbelievably fabulous. I mean, boys are a blessing. We all know that. The nature of the patriarchy is boys are a blessing. But as my wonderful mother, 93-year-old mother always says, a daughter is a contribution to the world. So, Kate, can you pass on my congratulations to your wonderful, and is it your daughter or is it your son?
No, it's my eldest son. they've got one little girl who's nearly 2, and this will be their second little girl.
Oh, that is fantastic. Congratulations, Kate. Oh, we're absolutely thrilled. And it's wonderful to see wonderful Maeve back with us. Good morning, Queen Maeve. Lovely to see you. And beautiful Megan, who has had to put up with me more than any human being has had to put up with me this week. Good morning.
Good morning. There's actually no putting up, Tara. You are an absolute pleasure to be with, and I'm just sorry that you've had to put up with me. That must be terrible for you.
No, it's been absolutely brilliant. But can I say we've got a series of requests from like people all over the world that have asked things of all of us. We've sort of become this weird sort of like doctoral echo chamber. So I didn't know we would become this, but we're now getting requests pretty regularly most days, colleagues. But I did want to start, if I can, with Megan, because this will be helpful, Megan, because you and our Piper are sort of the archetypes for the future of higher education. Hashtag, no pressure there. So Megan, yesterday morning, you and Piper had to put up with me for an hour and 40 minutes doing a mock milestone. Now, a lot of academics don't do that, and we may talk about, you might have a sense about why they don't do that. Have you got any commentary that you'd like to offer to everybody about milestones and doing a practice run that's pretty stressful and intensive?
I actually didn't find it all that stressful. The process was stressful, but the actual delivery was not stressful at all. You made it very easy. Oh, that was fantastic, Tara. Yeah, it was really good.
I'm just waving to Kylie because Kylie has been conversing more with my husband than I have this week. So good morning, Kylie. So Kyles, we're just talking about doing a milestone, and I did a mock confirmation of candidature with Megan yesterday morning. And we're just getting her to talk about it. So she didn't find it too stressful, but tell us a little bit more about it, Megan, darling one.
I really appreciated the feedback as we were going through the slides. Not that either of us went through our entire commentary that goes with the slides. It was just checking that we had sufficient slides, we were covering the right areas. But the questions that you asked us when you were playing Evil Bitch Tara, Evil Bitch, yeah. So those questions at the end were absolutely invaluable. And your delivery is always so supportive. It's the sandwich effect. Say something nice, slap the shit out of somebody, and then say something nice again. You did that really well with both of us, just to let us know where we could improve. And because of the way you sandwiched it, it wasn't offensive, it wasn't scary. It was just, this is critical feedback. And this is what you have to now do. So I greatly appreciated that, but also picking up on your language as an assessor. To me, that is absolutely imperative, because I had a taste of, all right, this is what they might say. This is the language that they will use. This could be the theories that I've spoken about that they will pick up on. Do you know your theories? So that was wonderful.
Oh.
Thank you. And it's the technology that's the biggest killer for me. I'm still having, since I've been back from Australia, trying to make my 2 computers talk to each other, nightmare.
Yeah, in some ways, I'm beautiful Norzin. You are the light of our lives, beautiful queen of the universe. We love you desperately. So can I also say, Megan, just saying to you, when you did the sandwich effect about something, what was it? Something nasty, something nice, something nasty. Isn't that also the abuse narrative? Isn't that the way like abusers actions? Oh, thanks for that. I'm getting nods from everybody. So isn't that a bit like someone's aggressive to you, but then they're nice to you? And is that gaslighting? Kylie, isn't that the gaslighting?
Yeah, that's coercive control. Yeah.
Oh, coercive control. Oh, that's a methodology I can take forward in my life.
But you did the opposite. You say something nice. So you had flipped that. You said something nice, you gave that critical feedback, and you followed it up with something nice. So what the perpetrators do is the reverse. And people stay in those relationships because we all yearn for the good stuff. So that's why we keep staying in bad relationships. So yeah, you followed that same technique, but you had flipped it and it worked perfectly. So thank you.
Oh, look, unbelievable. As long as it was useful, but it is intriguing to me, colleagues, why supervisors don't do more mocks. They are time consuming, to be honest with you, Megan. I didn't think it would take that long. It took, an hour and 40 minutes and so forth. The gig itself's only going to take an hour and 15. So that's challenging. But I'm not sure, Donna. I mean, surely there's a blessing in rehearsing something that's a bit difficult, or are we setting our students up to manage the stress? What do you think?
I didn't have prior to mine, I didn't have the advantage of a mock run through. But I can see how that would be really helpful in terms of alleviating anxiety. And I think there are benefits. I think more so than going in cold. So and it sounds as though Megan really gained a lot from it. I can see how you would do.
No, well,
stress, managing stress and anxiety, knowledge is power. So
look, well, I rely on Donna's expertise and Megan and Doug's expertise to guide me through this stuff. So I've always done a mock, but I was thinking yesterday, God, maybe I was too hard on you and Piper, because it just went on and on and on, and I was ruthless. So I just thought, ooh.
No, it was absolutely fantastic. And I don't think Piper was standing in a corner crying. No, it was good. You had exactly the right mix. So thank you. I'm very grateful.
So you're a superstar. Now, Darkster, obviously you're now, so congratulations. Welcome to your first week. I hope it's been fantastic for you, darling one. We're so proud.
Yes, it's been good. I haven't found Authenticate though. Just for the 1,000-word thingy if you want.
Darling,
I don't know where Authenticate is.
Yeah, so darling, if you go to Authenticate, www.authenticate.com, and put in your CDU email address, then they send you a temporary password. It's one of those nightmares, a temporary password. You got to set up a phone. You got to give them your firstborn. You got to give them your mother maiden name, your grandmother's maiden name, your first pet, your favorite popular culture. So you've got to do a few of those security checks, but that's how you get in. The first time is a nightmare. I can now go in there straight through, darling.
Okay.
Fantastic. But Dougster, how are you feeling? Because obviously I know this has been, even though we're sort of, 11 months away for you, gorgeous one, this is a bit of an issue for you. How can we, does a mock make this worse? How do we manage the stress for you, Dougster?
I don't know now. I think a mock will help. It will definitely help. I just don't know to what extent having a bad Tara will put me over the edge. I might have to have a cup of coffee afterwards or something.
Yeah, maybe talk with Jamie about bad Tara. Talk with Jamie about bad Tara. He can offer a lot of advice about bad Tara. Yes, so do that. Do that. But Dougster, it's about, and again, I'm not the expert on this. We've got much greater experts on this call with the management of anxiety and stressful situations. In my naivety, I sort of think, get to a point where you have the mock experience, so you've managed the stress and then you go again. And, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. Don't know, but if anyone else can think of a way to alleviate stress on particular colleagues, please do tell me, because it's not there to be stressful. It's there to be a help, an andragogical scaffold for you, Dougster.
Yeah, I completely see the benefit of doing it. I just hope I can. Are they recorded? Are they the mocks?
Well, look, I did record them. I'm trying to work out a way to send it to Megan at the moment because it's a bloody large file. But yes, I record them, but only for the participants.
Yes.
So
no, I wasn't thinking to get hold of Megan's or Piper's. I just thought for my own benefit, when it comes to my turn, then I can sort of go over it beforehand.
That's exactly right. When we come to do yours, Dougster, I might actually audio record it rather than video record it.
Yep.
I wanted Megan and Piper to see the video. And by the way, to Megan and the tech, don't worry about the tech, darling. If it all hits the fan, I will just talk during the actual event until it's cool. And remember, Piper can run the tech for you. So don't like be awake for the next 5 nights going, what if the Zoom doesn't mirror onto the screen? It doesn't matter, all right?
Paul's just slipped out now. There is a techie on island, but he has COVID. So Paul slipped out to find out, can he access my computer remotely, because there's a glitch somewhere and it's way past my tech capabilities. So we're trying to sort it by the end of the day. But with reference to sending that really large file, you don't have to send the whole thing, even if you just send the questions. That's mainly what I was.
I've got them on a piece of card, so I'll give them to you. That's fine. But I reckon as long as you're happy to handle a Dropbox link, I should be able to organize it this morning.
Yeah, Dropbox, no problem. But yeah, I don't want to put any more stress on you. Even just take a photo of the card and send me the photo on Messenger. It doesn't matter. It's just make it simple for yourself. So thank you.
Fantastic. Now, I haven't talked to Queen Mary in ages, so I just want to make sure Queen Mary's all right, because you are the light of our lives. I was thinking about you a lot this week, Mary. So how are we? Because I was having some engagements with Professor Len Collard as well, so our dear friend. But Mary, how are you going? And again, you talked about last week, this had a huge impact on me, that you did your COC and then so much happened after it. So would a mock have almost over-egged that omelette, mate?
Well, look, my supervisors go through for my COC for milestone 1 and milestone 2. They went through the first one about 3 times with me, and they've gone so far through the second one twice with me, and I got more stuff each time, and I changed my presentation each time. So I think I'm pretty close now, and so it does help me feel more. At the time, when it's presenting, I've kind of done it quite a few times, but they do spend a bit of time on it. So it is very time consuming for supervisors to do, but I certainly do appreciate being able to do that.
And Mary, did it reduce the stress on you, just for the Dogstar? Did it actually, all right, I can do this, I have done this, I've answered some questions, calm the farm?
Yeah, I think it did, because if you get some questions informally beforehand, it can point out some big gaps, because the thing is with your research, you can get so into it, you think that everyone else knows what you know. And so a couple of times they asked questions like, what's so-and-so? And then I thought, oh, well, maybe I should have made that clear before I started talking, launching into my talk. So, and I also did end up simplifying both of the presentations. So I sort of put too much into them to start with. And then I realised, no, I've really put too much in, and that's what happened. I went through mine yesterday, and there's stuff I'm going to take out before I actually do the COC in February.
That's really helpful for Megan too, because Megan was worried about because I've made them do a very short presentation, Mary. So it's like 15, 16 minutes, right? 15 minutes a question. So it's short. So, the fear is what you leave out, but then back in yourself that when you're asked a question, you can answer it.
Yeah, that's right. So it was good that I went into so much detail, because I then could answer the questions, but I didn't really have to present all that and try and stuff it into the talk. Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well, look, I hope that's helpful. And Dougster, it's starting to feel calmer with the process. And that was one of our questions. But we will start with all of you, of course. So we haven't done the open forum in a couple of weeks. So are there questions, issues, big things you want to talk about? Noting that Queen Jess has joined us, the light of our lives. Hello, Jan. Oh, is that on?
Hello, hi all. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, beautiful Queen of the universe. We've missed you. Now, darling, have you got any big question or big issue? Because you're always the one that's like, woof, oh, look at that dog. Oh, look at that dog.
Oh, yes. He's just had a big run. He won't move for the next hour.
I want to be your dog. I want to be that dog. Right. So, Jess, how are you going? Because obviously we've been worried about you for 3 months, really, to be honest with you. So what's what's happened? Talk to us, Jess.
My primary supervisor left. So I don't know what's happening yet. I've got a meeting on Tuesday. No, that's my other supervision. No, I don't know. There's an email there. I'm going to get to it today. But that's okay.
Kylie went straight to the gin and tonic. Kylie went straight to gin and tonic. Welcome to, was it 10 o'clock in Queensland? Cheers, bro. Yeah. So Jess, so the principal supervisor has left and left yesterday, packed their bags, got on a plane, gone.
Yeah. She said she's only got access to her emails till the 14th, which is in 2 days. And she applied to be an advisor through CDU, but that was rejected. So it's proper goodbye to her. And I'm like, okay, right. I'm making that next week Jess's problem to tackle.
Right. So to help next week, Jess, and g'day, John. Great to see you, brother. To help next, there's a but. Go, darling. Oh, Jess, I thought you said but.
No,
Gee,
I don't think it would.
Gee, she's calm. Can I say, if I could pick a wife, I'd be married to Jess. Look how calm she is. It's unbelievable. Right, so colleagues, let's help next week, Jess, shall we? As my eyes water with some horror. So a supervisor's just got on a plane. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. John Denver, colleagues. John Denver. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Anyone remember? Am I right? Did Peter, Paul and Mary do the version of it? Am I right, Donna? Am I the oldest person on the school? Wow, unbelievable. So let's try and help next week, Jess. So I'm going to have to start with Megan again because Megan's supervisor did something very similar and left and got on a jet plane with their dog. So Megan, what advice would you offer to next week, Jess?
Jess, you might all be calm now, but I can guarantee that you will be falling apart really soon. Because
I only really found out yesterday, Megan. So
yes.
in shock. I'm enjoying it.
So do you have an industry partner as well that is attached to the previous supervisor?
Yes, but we haven't had the documentation signed yet because it was just lots of me emailing saying, how are you going with that documentation industry partner? And they're like, crickets. So that was on my list of things to do this year, was to get Andrew to help me.
Okay, so you need to be jumping onto that ASAP to make sure that you don't lose your industry partner, and then of course lose all of the research that you might have already done either about that industry partner or about what your topic is attached to that industry partner, because I lost a lot. And all three of my supervisory team resigned. The first one left on a jet plane. And then the other two resigned because they thought that they didn't have expertise in that area. So I lost a shitload of work and had to start again. But I reached out to Tara for help, and Tara was just absolutely amazing. Like, she really helped me through the process. So you're not alone, and this has happened to other people as well. And it was actually beneficial to me because I then decided, stuff this, I'm fast tracking. I'm not losing all of this time. I am fast tracking. So it was a blessing in disguise, but it hurt. And I'm sorry that it's happened to you.
Fast tracking mean, Megan? What's fast tracking? I'm
finishing in 18 months.
Your whole PhD?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually 2 years because there's 6. So I'm now finishing in the next 18 months. I'm not mucking around.
So I think Maeve wants to speak to this too. I desperately want Gillian. I mean, everybody's had to go through this. And John, you are legendary. Good morning, good sir. It's wonderful to see you.
Good morning.
Oh, great, mate. So what we're talking about at the moment is Jess has just lost a supervisor. So 40% of students that start with one group of supervisors don't finish with them, Jess. So it's a large minority. So Jess, if I can just put the dean hat on, so bitch Tara, if I can put the dean hat on, I would contact the industry partner and put me in the CC line. And at that point, what it just means I can formalize the relationship a bit, go, hello, we really appreciate you. You know, this is, we come to you with respect, we come to you with partnership, and just to sort of formalize that a bit, Jess, particularly as the supervisory panel gets a bit unstable. But I think Megan's right. Work on your project, get that as stable as you can, and let's get, is there any chance your associate supervisor can go up to principal? That's always the dream.
That's what the email said, that I'm secondary is stepping into that. So that will be okay. And the industry partner, I was going to have a chat because the industry partner's in Melbourne, and I'm obviously in Queensland, and it's just so slow moving. And I've got access to, it's just an audiology place in Melbourne. Got access to that here that won't cost the university travel and accommodation costs. And like, maybe I could just approach someone that's a bit easier and I can access them better, because that's been another hurdle, is the access to my industry partner and staying down there. And like, it's all expenses that we have to get approved each time I go.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that could be a blessing. Maybe that could switch, because the industry partner was where my supervisor was, but not where I was.
As was the case with Megan, and Megan actually lost her industry partner and magically found a new one. So Megan, do you want to speak to that again before we go to Muggle?
Yeah.
You're there. Megan, thank God you turned up today. My goodness me. Bloody hell.
So when I lost everything, I checked with my scholarship because I thought I might also lose the scholarship. I won a desk scholarship. And I was really concerned that I would lose that too, that it might be attached to the industry partner, to the other supervisors. But CDU assured me that it was all okay. And I could, as long as I was doing something in mental health, I could find another partner. So I knew what I wanted. I know what I want to be when I grow up, and that is I don't want to grow up. But I did look at that to work out what do I want to do post PhD, and who's an industry partner that can actually help build my skill set and value add to the PhD data collection, so that then be a growing up as quickly as possible because of that fast tracking stuff.
So I need to find out if I could, if my stipends, what my stipends sort of connected to, because whether or not it is audiology, because my primary supervisor now is a clinical psych, which might shift the focus of the research project a little. And if that's the case, I've actually been approached by the Salvation Army here, and I said, I can't do anything yet. I'm doing this PhD, but I would love to partner with them and do some they do first responder stuff. Yeah, I've looked at doing some volunteer work for them anyway, and what a cool way to do volunteer work, and just like that would be really cool. But whether I'm allowed to do that, it's all these like staying in my box.
Jess, you know the dean, you're allowed to do this, right? And the weird thing is, I think that's fantastic. The weird thing is, of course, remember I did the outrider this week for use the difficulty, right? Use the difficulty. And you know that Michael Caine line, if you get 1% out of it, and you're going to get a lot more out of this, then let's do it, Dal. All right.
Tara, who do I have to speak to check about the conditions of my stipend and my scholarship? I want to make sure that I'm still meeting all my requirements there.
So it's me, and I have a great mate called Michelle. Those of you that have dealt with the legendary Michelle, she's from Western Sydney. She is tough as a Hessian bag. And so, needless to say, Cole, you should have seen the conversations over Christmas between Michelle and Jamie, right? They went to full Parramatta. Both of them started to talk to each other like this. What do you think, Michelle? I don't know, Jamie. I don't know. I lost them both for like a day. I didn't understand what was occurring. Mary, you know this, from the People's Republic of Western Australia, we have a very different accent from Western Sydney. My goodness me. But so just me, and I work directly with our Michelle. It's payday today, so she's doing the pay run. After 2:30, she'll be human again. So at 2:45, I'll send your request to her. So email me. But darling, you won't lose anything. Whenever something like this happens, we never have the student at a disadvantage. All right. So the student loses nothing, and we do everything we can to support the student going forward. All right.
Thank you, Tara. I'll email you about that today. Thank you.
And the industry partnership.
And that's what it's about, that and the industry partnership, and just seeing what my options are, because once I know what I'm allowed to do, I will run with it.
Yeah. Look, I'm a random old bird. I'm Generation X. I'll let you do anything. Don't worry about it. As long as it's within the RTP legislation, we do that, mate. We
are so lucky to have you. This is amazing.
A lot of people would not think that. They would think they've got a meth dealer as a dean, but thank you, Jess, for your support.
I'm late today because I was at another meeting that I was supposed to be at, and I lasted 10 minutes and disconnected and jumped in here.
Yeah, well, we love you, Jess. But we'll look after you. You're meant to have this conversation today. I mean, it gets one of those things we never know, John, what we're going to talk about each week. Someone comes with something and it's unbelievable. But Maeve wanted to speak to Jess because Maeve's moved from supervisory groups as well, Maeve. So talk to the wonderful Jess.
I have. Hi, Jess. And well, firstly, I think Megan and Tara have covered all the bottom lines, but I would, and Tara's lots of good offers there. I think that could I know your topic area just briefly?
Yeah, I'm writing a training package for staff or for an organisation on trauma-informed care processes so that staff
Oh.
can know their own trauma, other people's trauma, and really navigate that space easier.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's sensational work. Just listening to how much you would like to do the Salvation Army. Is that the right? Have I got that right?
Yeah.
I would follow your gut without any doubt at all. And I think I heard Tara approving of that idea. And
yes.
so, yeah, and she said, I thought she said yes, and I thought you fractionally missed it because you were concentrating on so much. And so I think Tara is saying yes, and I think this is the moment to follow your gut and be who you are. And I have to say, the more I do that of being who I am, it's not necessarily easy, but the dividends and the payoffs are mega. And just to throw in, I would love to have had a rehearsal, what are we calling it? Mock. So I think that's cool. And I think, Doug, I'm happy to be part of your anti-anxiety program when you come to that, because I have done it, and you'll have seen and read Megan's and so on, and Piper. Really looking forward to that. Amazing topic areas. So yeah, I think it's sort of a just do it, but I think it's also I would have to think about it for longer than 2 minutes to answer you, Tara, as to what would help people with anxiety. But I am definitely thoughtful on that, and we'll think about that.
Yeah, no, I think that's wonderful. I think that's wonderful. And I will duck to the Brains Trust itself. So Kyle's, and I wouldn't mind talking with Adrian too, because he's worked with supervisors in a really innovative and nuanced way. But Kyle's, bloody hell, girlfriend. I mean, you know, engineers, that's what you do. You manage the difficulty, you manage the obstacle. Any advice for Jess?
Enjoy that minute or two, as Megan said, before it all hits the fan in your head. Enjoy the solace and the painfulness. I haven't gone through the supervisory change, but I've had the addition of the supervisor in, and then I won't say luckily because she was lovely. She retired, so it wasn't a big break, but that was between the masters and the PhD. But I think just get your ducks in a row, even if it's not just working around and check all the stuff. Don't wait for the uni to drive it. Don't wait. Sorry, CDU, probably a lot better than you, this one. But push it yourself. Make sure you've got it in your head that you've got all the ducks in a row. Take the learnings from like Megan and Nave who've gone through it all, and just push it yourself and plan yourself, because no one else is going to plan it for you.
Can I say I feel more excited by that, Kylie?
Yeah, oh, you can. Yeah, because it's a great opportunity. If you can potentially tweak it to more that is going to give you your heart singing about what your research is about. I struggle, and I guess each their own, but I came into my PhD with my own topic. I knew what I wanted to do, but I talked to people who have come in and got given a topic, and I'm like, how do you do all this if you're not even
I was given a topic, like it was their topic, and they're like, we just need a student to do this. I said, I'll do it. It's a pretty interesting topic. And as I got into it, I'm like, oh, it's not exactly what I want.
And the amount of BS that you have to go through, and the processes and the tears that you're going to have through a PhD, and the mental issues. Oh, it's never. Why not do that for something that you're going to love?
Look, I will speak on behalf, because we haven't got our favourite physicist on the call yet. Can I just log that in the experimental sciences, in the hard sciences, and in a lot of engineering, as you know, Carls, it is a big project, it's an expensive project, and so students do come onto a project. And of course, allied health's another example, Queen Jess. So for those colleagues, you know, I have an interest in additive manufacture. You know, I have an interest in how concrete is used in 3D printing. Do you want to join me on this journey? And so the student comes into that, you know, 3D printing with concrete. Yeah. Right. And that's great. But of course, a lot of other students in the other disciplines come with a completely fully formed, this is my passion. And so it's hard in a doctoral program, Carls, because we've got both groups, and And of course, if you're given a topic, Jess, you must find this, if you're given a topic and you're looking at Megan going, I've decided to do whether or not Brené Brown is changing the world, you know, and you're going, how has that happened?
Yeah. And I was lucky because trauma-informed care is my passion topic. Like, that's my thing. But applying it to audiology was not a passion. I want it to be everything, applying it to everyone, you know, a program that can work for, anywhere.
And again, that was one thing I wanted to do my thing for everyone. And they kept saying, no, you'll never finish your PhD. You can do that later. But you need to do this to get it finished.
Yeah.
Jess, I'm getting the feeling, and I'm looking straight at Donna, because Donna is sort of like my avatar in the Northern Hemisphere. I'm getting a feeling that this is actually a blessing for you. That I hate to quote the vlog I'm recording next Wednesday, but the obstacle is the way.
That's right. I'm feeling that. That's why I'm not feeling so panicked, because it's opened this like, well, maybe I can do it. This, and this. It's shifting the topic more from audiology into psychology, back to psychology again, which is my area of interest.
Now, Jess, I would follow Kylie's advice on this. I would try and get your ducks in a row and get them quacking and get them moving. So you've got control over your ducks. You have in place the thesis you want to write. So you've got this fully fleshed gig now that is what you want. So that's the homework I'd do for you this week. Oh, hello. Oh, the PhD setup document. So an option could be, Jess, I'm going to pay you, Megan. I need to start just sending you checks to Norfolk Island. So, Jess, one option when a thesis is being reconfigured is your old dean wrote something when I was 28, I did my first version of it, what's called the PhD setup document. And it's for students that start, and the Dougster's done a great one, or for students that have gone through a transition. So they've changed supervisors, they're changing project, and it's let's use the pivot, right? So if you put Tara Brennan on and PhD setup document into Google, about 15 versions will come up free.
Okay.
And that might help. And sorry, I keep giving you homework. I'm not even your supervisor. Imagine a dean giving you homework, Jess. I'm so sorry.
I love it. I thank you greatly. Thanks, Tara.
I thank you greatly too, you gorgeous creature. We will go to Adrian, because Adrian has got the nickname from me, the supervisor wrangler, because you do manage and you're handling complicated situations. I mean, you're a calm, wonderful man anyway, Adrian, but you handle the waves very well. Any advice you'd give to Jess?
Oh, look, I don't know. I get a sense that it's, I mean, even just from our conversation, that it's turning into a potentially positive thing. And I think you can just stay with that as much as you can. I think there's, I don't know. My supervisors have been hands off, which has been a really positive thing, but also a negative thing. And I think coming into my last year, I'm wanting a little bit more hands on. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, look, I think, you know, this whole idea about supervising yourself is a really important one, I think, and yeah, trying to get it up to speed as much as you can with your stuff. And I think, having a supervisor that is a little bit hands off has forced me to know what I'm talking about, and to try and anticipate some of those questions. But anyway, I don't even know if am I dropping out?
No, we were actually hanging on every word. That's why we're all looking at you sort of like, oh my goodness me. And once more, Adrian, you are the wisest man in the universe, because there is this argument I have with myself and my multiple personalities that actually a supervisor becomes a different supervisor during the 3 years. And it's a miracle. It's like a marriage, Kyles, that goes over 50 years. Actually, it's not the same marriage. You start as two people and then you become probably different people every 10 years, right? And what a blessing it is after 50 years that these two very, very different people still like each other, right? And in the PhD, you're actually a different supervisor at the start. And you certainly, as the wonderful Nora and I have talked about, you've got to be a very different supervisor at the end, right? The final 6 months. And Adrian, this might be a moment for you to do your supervisor wrangling, really, because in the last year, you do need a hands-on supervisor. And they do need to know what they're doing. And the final 6 months, the final 3 months are hell, Adrian. They are hell for the student, hell for the supervisor. And, you know, just so, I mean, you know, I've got, I think, 12 students at the moment. On the weekend, I'm reading 350,000 words, right? So, and I'm not unusual. So it's a matter of wrangling your supervisor, finding the time, but they've got heavy lifting to do for you. And if they don't, it'll hold up the thesis.
Great to know. Yeah, thank you. I did get a sense that this final year is going to be a bit mad. But yeah, hearing you say that is, yeah, no, really good. Good to know.
Oh, good on you, mate. And look, we should go to, and I want to have a wonderful chat with John as well, but we'll go to the beautiful Noor, who is the light of our lives. Now, of course, Noor we love you, is also going into the COC experience as well. And it's been quite a messy couple of months going into it, sweetheart. How are you going?
Thank you, Tara, for asking me. So, actually, I'm under the weather. You can hear my sound. I got a bad flu this week, but I'm okay. So, yes, last week on 5th January, I sent my draft to my panel, and I said that I would like to catch up the bus. I mean, I want to finish my COC. I'm so excited to go to my field work. Yes. And then now I'm waiting her feedback. And then honestly, the result of the feedback will be my decision. Maybe, I don't know, maybe perhaps I will still going through with them or not.
Yes.
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 Because I have to take hard decisions because honestly, I love her so much because I am a big fan for many years. I love her journals, her book. But I think, like you said before, that supervisor and student is like a marriage relationship,
Without
right?
Without the sex. Yes.
Yes, yes, because we have to trust each other, you know? Yes, of course. I want to be, just my dream, Tara, to be a PhD researcher, the happiest PhD researcher. I want to be this because my effort for 8 years to get the scholarship, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm doing this because I love this. I don't want to get stressed and depressed. I love my work.
And darling,
Yes.
we love you, and it is complicated, Noor. And think about what the wonderful Adrian said there too, beautiful one, that you've got to, the relationship is built from two sides. I think so often, Noor, you and I have talked about this in this office, that, the supervisor is the great God, the great mentor, this great researcher, and the student is inverted commas in a lesser power position. Those days are over. They've been over for 50 years, my angel. This is a relationship of equality. Yes, the supervisor may have more experience in these areas, but you are a citizen of value and note and worth. And the relationship is built from both sides. From both sides, sweetheart. Okay.
Yes, that's right.
And so it's not either or either, darling one, because you happen to accidentally know the dean as well. And
Yes.
remember, I can very happily get you and supervisors and so forth in a room, and we talk about this, because great researchers, the skill set of a great researcher and the skill set of a PhD supervisor are different skill sets, and they overlap a little bit in most people. Very rarely in life they overlap like that, right? So what we need, that's why we get academic staff to do professional development, to make the overlap a little bit greater. And a lot of you have often talked about when I was doing the RAE, so doing the research assessment exercise in England, and we assessed all the researchers in the entire university, Noor. And one of the data sets we had to report on was, yes, the publications, and the grants, and we also had to report on the higher degree supervision. And we discovered something absolutely bonkers. And what we discovered, Noor, was the great supervisors with all the publications and the grants had no higher degree supervision completions. And there are only two people that didn't abide by that rule, and I was one of them, and my late husband, Steve Redhead, was the other, right? So just because you're a magnificent researcher, and we respect that and we love that, does not mean that you're a great supervisor. Similarly, we have great supervisors who are just about research active. So I've got to sort of keep monitoring that they're producing an article a year to stay research active, right? So that's the relationship we've got to build. Now, Nora, you're feeling a little bit better. We've got you, Angel. You're all right.
Yes, of course. Meeting you, a month ago made me so relieved. I can reduce my stress and anxiety. Of course, I could write again, right, Tara? And my husband said that that I'm so lucky because I have the dean that provides many things. Thank you, Tara. And my husband said that I should learn many things from you because I'm a lecturer. I have to learn how you manage us. It's not an easy job, of course. It's not an easy duty for you. And how your leadership, I think I have to learn it because after the PhD will be a great war for me because I'm a woman who was born in the patriarchy community, right? Man domination, sorry. So I think I have to think beyond of my PhD. I love my PhD. That's my stepping stone of my life. I'm sitting here, hear about many stories. It makes me so strong day by day. Thank you for Megan. I love your headband and your inspiration, Kylie, everything. And I cannot wait to participate in the MOOC. Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much. And even though I'm in Kendari, because I have to side by side with my husband, Sarah, I will back to Darwin to my CLC. I have discussed with my supervisor, and she said that I can work in remotely in Kendari, and then I prepare my CLC. But I always every day motivated my PhD. I don't know. I cannot wait to go to my fieldwork because I think to get the new motivations to finish it is move on. So that's why I said to my supervisor, please, I want to go to my fieldwork. It's not good for me just looking around in this time, just talking about the COC, and I said, is it the horrible thing about COC? That's why I don't know. It's like a new hell that I have to prepare because I want to move on to my fieldwork.
Yeah.
And everyone, thank you so much beside me. Thank you.
We walk with you always, my angel. And can I say, Sweetness, one of the reasons I hurtle my students towards the COC, much to Doug's horror, is to actually reduce the stress. Because one of the natures of life, and Kyle's, I learned from you with this all the time, is actually prolonging the pain does prolong the pain. You better to walk through hell. As I always say, don't like get into hell and go, wow, it's hot in here, right? You got to keep walking, right? The way you get out of hell is walk through it. And the way you get through the COC is just do it and then get on with the rest of your life, right? But no, we've got you. And one of the reasons we have all these online facilities is for the online doctorate. So you can do these PhDs anywhere, okay? So you keep in touch with us. And how, I will ask, how is your wonderful husband, darling? Is he all right?
Yes, so last week we went to Makassar, to Southeast Sulawesi province to get second opinion. And fortunately, we got the good news that he doesn't need like catheterization, heart catheterization examinations and angioplasty. So yeah, he just drink a medication daily and then go to the medical checkup every week and every month. So I think it's a good life for my PhD journey. And then I heard from my supervisor this week that so far my draft is quite good, and I think I can see the age of my PhD. So
that is fantastic.
I hope he will satisfied until the end of the reading of my PhD proposal. Oh, thank you so much. I feel more Yes, I don't know, motivate. I think all of you and you, Tara, are my invisible hand from the God. Thank you so much.
Well, 2024 is your year, and the idea, John, what happened was, I think it was 3-4 weeks ago, Nora arrived and her wonderful husband had a heart attack, and so quickly had to return to Indonesia. But your strength is unbelievable, my love, and let's just get you through the COC. Just get you through it. It shouldn't be like this, but let's just say it's going to be like this. Learn from Jess's great example, because Jess sort of had a similar gig with it where she hated every second of it, and she was grinding her teeth and hating me and hating the university and hating everything. Look at this. Yeah, I did actually. I really hated your guts. So, but we're getting you through that and getting beyond that. All right.
Duh. Yes. Yes, I don't
I
know.
just jump in there and tell you it'll probably be fine for you. I naively went in thinking it was going to be really good and easy. If I had have had anxiety about it, I probably would have been fine and expected a bit of that. But I just went in, oh, this will be easy. It wasn't.
Thank you, Jessica. You know, Tara, I have my spiritual friend here, right? It's like a supporting system for me, even though it's a virtual one. Sometimes maybe we have to take a coffee. All right.
Exactly right. Exactly right, my darling. Oh, you're legendary. And look, we should say hello to the wonderful John, who is just a blessing to me and a blessing to all of us. How are you going, John? Good morning.
Good morning. Sorry to be late in. I always seem to have trouble with Zoom. It took me 20 minutes to get through its updates and everything else. No, I'm pretty well, really. Thank you.
Fantastic. And you look terribly glamorous sitting out. Is it on a veranda or are you in a sunroom?
No, it's my study with a nice windows all around it. Yeah.
I want to be you. Now, John, do you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing and your interests, mate? Because it's fascinating.
Right. I'm in the latter part of my PhD in history about the Japanese doctors who came to Australia during the White Australia policy. So I've given it the title ultimately Treating Prejudice. And it's a very much about that and how we deal with it. And one of the little conclusions I've come to is how important the individual and their values and actions can be in that, regardless of the legislation and other things, and how important, in fact, the more unexpected an action of goodwill or unexpected smile and gratitude, the less is it expected, the greater the effect it has. It magnifies its impact, which was a little personal sort of venture and learning out of it that I thought wrapped up the whole idea of treating prejudice. So, yeah, Tara, I'm up to that stage where I'm bringing the original hypothesis together into the conclusions, and it's beginning to come together a little bit.
Well, it's a brilliant thesis. It was an absolute privilege to read, mate.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't. Yeah, I've got through fixing up most of your little things, and but it's more that, bringing the whole thing together. I'll mention for the benefit of the others, my experience with a supervisor that's relevant to this was, it was actually my supervisor's idea originally that I do this when he launched a book of mine. It took me some time to get round to doing that. And because when I had this concept in mind, and I went back, and he must have been helpful because I got a scholarship, and which was unexpected, and I set on my way. But in that, after 6 months, he decided he didn't want to have anything to do with me anymore. And actually, I thought that's pretty good. I don't want to have anything to do with him anymore. But and it was an issue where, in that early stage, you need guidance on your whole concept and whether it is reasonable and whether you're heading in that direction.
Yes.
Perhaps because he wasn't quite so such an expert in that area. But the only things I got comments from was on my footnotes, complaining about my set out, or it wasn't right for the footnote or anything else. And I found it so frustrating. So I came up to Darwin from Canberra, went through it, but the faculty couldn't find an alternative supervisor. So we sat back and agreed to work together. And that would, but you know, you might worry about it, but in the end, I think it was good for both of us, because I know Tara's had that own experience of, okay, bugger them, I'll do it the way I want to do it. In doing this subject, you're the one that's going to be the best, greatest expert in the world on it if you're doing it properly. So if you think you can do it, go ahead and do it. And we sort of came to agreement, okay, I'll talk to you if you need me, and you talk to me if the other way around. And so we're surviving. And now I'm in that end stage. His actual focus on the detail may prove to be very much what I need at this stage. So yeah, go for it. And if you're doing what you want to do, somehow it'll all work out.
John is leisurely. Now, John, I want to introduce you to Mary. Mary's just above my screen. Now, you're the two historians on the call. I include myself in, that's my original training. Oh, Gay, okay, but I mean, Gay, you do everything. You do arts and sciences, Gay. I mean, I don't want to limit you. How many degrees have you got? You've got about 7 bloody degrees, haven't you, Gay? You're 10 degrees. Yeah, see what I'm saying? She's going, I'm a historian. You're lots of things, Gay. You are lots of things. But Mary, it is interesting that, you know, our supervisors in our particular bit of the universe get a bit fixated on footnotes. Now, I love me footnotes, right? And I hate Harvard on a daily basis. I have to use Harvard on a daily basis. It is Satan of citations. It is satanic. And we've lost Chicago footnotes. But Mary, have you got any commentary? Because John, Mary's doing incredibly well, doing a remarkable master's in Indigenous colonisation and Indigenous battles and warfare and massacres in Western Australia. But Mary, any commentary on the granularity of doing those sort of history high degrees?
Well, you know, I'm a kind of a newcomer, and you know, I'm working up towards starting a PhD, hopefully next year, after I've finished my master's. But yeah, as far as footnotes go, I use Chicago 17th, and it's really, because then you can write a little bit of a novel at the bottom of it, because you have to show in history, you can have like one for your, what you're talking about in the paragraph, you go, this happened, but then you also need to show in the footnote that you read that, then you found out that, and then you did this, and that's how you know that kind of thing, you know, and you don't want to put that in the paragraph.
No, I love a
It
good.
still counts to the word. It's still part of the word count.
John,
I've been criticised. Yeah.
John,
It
you
is, but
you
it
know the
changes the
thing.
flow of the, it'll change the flow of the paragraph otherwise, and it's like a little bit of an aside thing, you know, that isn't the main point. So then you can put it in the footnote. That's what I do anyway.
What, Gay? What, darling?
Footnotes are not part of the word count.
They're not part of the word count, John. And John, you know the dean anyway. You just need to write to the dean and go, Tara, this thesis is 110,000 words. Do you give a damn? And I write back to John and go, John, I don't give a damn, right?
Oh, okay. I was told that that was the regulation.
Yeah, but I write the regulations, and part of the regulation is you can write to the dean and go, this is over, girlfriend. And I go, I respect you as a scholar, John. Off you go. Right, darling, I would be such a hypocrite, John. My thesis was 127,000 words, and I try and never be a hypocrite, right? Kyle's, you've seen it. I mean, it's still in storage. My thesis is horrifying, John. But I mean, Mary's point's a great one. The gift of the, I think, John, why history trained supervisors are such a pain in the butt, and of course, that include myself in this, is because, you know, the attention, because we need to be able, our repeatability, our transparency comes through the footnotes. You know, good engineers, good physicists can replicate their experiments, but for us, you know, this is our way of thinking. Follow us on the footnote journey, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's the way more the way I was going, but I was told it was too much and it was taking up so much of it. And in history, it does seem complicated. I mean, other things, and you might look at shorter papers you produce, and you can put that name of an author in bracket that you've quoted and it's relevant. But in one paragraph in history, you may have gone to 30 different sources to verify those facts and put it together as a piece. And that's really really hard to get in some sort of manageable footnote.
Oh, it is. That's why you have the big footnotes. And in Mary's case, John, that's why it'd be great if you two get to know each other. What Mary's had to do, because she's found this incredible data set, she is literally, John, working against 100 years of historiography. So she's found these new interesting documents. She's reading against the grain. And so she's presenting this from the primary information that she's found. And then in the footnotes, she has to go through, and by the way, all these secondary sources missed this. And this impacts radically the entire interpretation and shaping of history. Good on
And
you.
sometimes the secondary sources contradict each other. So you go, so and so says this and such says that, but when you look in the Colonial Office archive, it says this, and when you read a bit about this settler, you realise it means that, you know.
And we want this granularity. We want it. I mean, remember, history has two schools, the lumpers and the splitters, right? And Mary, you and I are splitters. I think John's a splitter too. Like, let's get in there and get our hands dirty. Yeah, rather than going, oh, look, it'll all be okay. Like it won't be. Beautiful, Gay. Finish us off with your fabulousness and your multiple degrees, gorgeous one.
John, I wanted to actually say, when I was listening to you, you came up with a reason for your research. It is so easy in history to say, I'm studying this because it's interesting. But what does it mean? And what you said was you found the reason for your research and why it's important. And that is missing in a lot of history. I mean, history, you can write it as a story and it can be exciting. It can be, I mean, I just read a book on the Battle of the Bismarck Sea. It was very well reviewed, and I read it, and it read like a novel. He had no references. He had a very small bibliography, and I was thinking, where did you get that quote from? Where did you get that piece of information from? And it was just, I gave up in disgust. It was dreadful. But you have said why your research is important.
Yeah.
And that's can be fairly rare in history. So keep going, mate. Keep going.
Oh, John's legendary. And I think that's a great point for John. It's a great point for Mary as well. I often call it the mattering of the research. When you're finishing up that conclusion in your abstract, John, what is the mattering? And if you can answer that for me, then that's a phenomenal thesis. So colleagues, I'm conscious of time. Again, every week you surprise me. This week has been unbelievably surprising. Once more, Jessica has been our pivot. So once more, we think it's going in one direction, and then Jess arrives, and it's like a bloody Northern Territory cyclone, and it just cleans us all, and we go into a completely different direction. But colleagues, I thank you all for your time. Jess, we've got you, Angel. The beautiful Nor, you are everything to us. You're an amazing human being. And John, can't manage without you, brother. Keep going with those Chicago footnotes. Power.
Thank you.
See you on the other side. Sleep well, Donna. Bye, darling one. Bye-bye.